If you wanted to buy a fountain pen that represents the best a particular brand has to offer, how would you know what to consider? Well, today I've put myself in charge of electing the most qualified fountain pen to represent their respective brand, based on a strict evaluation scale known only to no one. I will be sharing my reasons though, so join me and let's see which pens shall bear the standards of their respective houses, based on one guy's opinion. Kaweco knows how to do pocket pens. So while the Pelikan is a solid pen, I definitely needed to go with a smaller one, and I think it needed to be a sport model. When you think of Kaweco, you think of a sport, right? And while the classic sport is undoubtedly more common, I'm choosing the all sport to represent House Kaweco. It's aluminum, so it's still lightweight, but you get the benefit of durability. It brings all of the classic elements of Kaweco to the table while also showing off its shockingly soft anodization. Despite being a metal pen, it's warm and smooth in the hand, which is not something you'd expect by just looking at it. The Platinum 3776 Century is a fantastic pen, and no doubt the fountain pen that many think of when we stop to consider Platinum's signature model. A beautiful gold nib, stunning limited editions, and not as good as the Platinum Preppy. Okay, obviously the 3776 is objectively a far superior writing instrument, but I'm selecting the Preppy to represent House Platinum because this little pen has succeeded in a zone that no other brand has. It's Platinum's secret weapon, a crazy, affordable, but not disposable fountain pen that writes well and has an excellent airtight cap. I'm not trying to be ironic. I sincerely think that what Platinum has achieved over the years by getting this pen into so many people's hands is their crowning achievement. So I'm letting the brave little Preppy carry the flag. It was hard to choose a house representative for TWSBI. Their catalog of pens is well balanced in terms of features and benefits that I could easily make a case for just about any of them. The VAC Mini actually came close to getting picked because of its filling mechanism and its ability to link up with the VAC 20A bottle. However, I had to go a little predictable with this one and choose the TWSBI 580. This pen is TWSBI at its best. Easy to maintain, crystal clear, and its performance surpasses its price tag, in my opinion. The signature TWSBI component that some of its compatriots lacked, however, is style. Both the Eco and the 580 get limited colorways each year, but the 580's limited edition designs, they tend to feature more customized components than the Eco. I know it's superficial of me, but I maintain that the TWSBI 580 still stands as the most TWSBI of the family. Okay, time for Sailor. Pro Gear. It's the Pro Gear. Not the Pro Gear Slim, not the King of Pens, no, not the 1911 either, and I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, I'm going with the mid-size Pro Gear simply because it's just that, right in the middle in terms of size and cost. The reason I'm going with the flat top Pro Gear over the rounded ends of the 1911 is because the flat ends are a better canvas for Sailor to do what Sailor does best. Yes, they write well and write consistently. However, Sailor has been killing it with color variety lately, and they're more often using the Pro Gear to do it. The shallow finials on the ends of the Pro Gear allow for a hint of contrasting resins. And unlike the 1911, the Pro Gears have the added option of a themed medallion laid into the top. A Pro Gear with some crazy color combination that just calls to you for reasons you don't understand absolutely deserves to be Sailor's envoy. With Pelikan, we basically have one pen style, so we just need to pick a size. You've got the M200, the M400, the 600, the 800, and the 1000, the M1000. Each one larger than the last. I'm going to be a bit of a hypocrite now and go against the reasoning I used for Sailor and say that the pen that represents what Pelikan does best is the M1000. Yes, it's big, it's not going to be comfortable for absolutely everyone, but writing with an M1000 is just something special. The nib is massive and features one of the most striking imprints in the industry and most recognizable. Yes, you will be happy with an M600, but the M1000 is Pelikan's most worthy champion. It would be pretty easy to make a case for a few different Pilot pens, but it's also pretty easy to say that House Pilot should put forth the custom 823. The 823 has proven itself to be a worthy representative throughout years of success of the Pilot Metropolitan, the Pilot Custom 74, and the Pilot Vanishing Point. The custom 823 has been quietly rising amidst them all, where all those other pens have received limited editions and new colors throughout the years. The 823 has received one additional color variant in the US in like the last decade. So it has two colors and still increasingly well regarded and rising in popularity as a pen that looks good, writes superbly well, and has a fun and efficient filling system. This is an easy choice because it seems that nothing can stop the ascension of the 823. There's a lot going on within the Pineider brand. To find the most definitively Pineider-y fountain pen, I started with their 14 karat quill nib. I knew that my choices needed to have that nib because it's beautiful, it's bouncy, and very much designed with that Pineider flair. I ultimately settled on the forged carbon fountain pen. This pen does feature the quill nib, as I mentioned before, but it also has their signature spring-loaded quill clip, their magnetic twist capping mechanism, and a retractable piston knob they refer to as the mystery filler. There are other Pineiders with these features, but the forged carbon body was the thing that set this one apart from me. Rather than a carbon fiber weave, right, the carbon fiber is compressed with resin under extreme pressure to create a totally different sort of carbon fiber bond. It's innovative, it's fairly unnecessary, and totally fascinating, which is 100% Pineider. Namiki fountain pens. They're very different from most all of the other brands on this list because you're not just selecting a pen, but a style of art, genuinely. So, at what point is Namiki at its best? The gorgeous simplicity of their Vermilion Yukari Royale? Yeah. The pinnacle of Maki on the Emperor? Yeah, both are worthy. But I'm going to go with their flat top Chinkin pens, and here's why. Detailed Maki painting, like what you see on the Yukaris and the Emperors, is immensely impressive and showcases more time and effort than the engraved work of the Chinkin style. But anyone can look at individual etchings and engravings within the Chinkin pens and mentally connect that with an artisan's handiwork. To me, it's like seeing brush strokes on a painting and being, hit with that realization, that awesome realization that each stroke was done by a skilled artist. Namiki art deserves to be recognized for its complexity, and the Chinkin style reveals that work clearly. The flat top versions specifically being the most affordable way to obtain what I believe Namiki does best. Also, their nibs are perfect. The iconic LAMY 2000 was the only choice to represent the LAMY family here. While the Safari should get a high five for being such a worldwide favorite, the 2000 has been around for decades and mostly unchanged since its debut in 1966. Without a doubt, the 2000 already has been the standard bearer for the LAMY brand. So it's not even a matter of choosing it, it's just a matter of not choosing to send another LAMY up against it to be inevitably defeated. The stout but forgiving gold nib, the comfortable polycarbonate body, the smooth internal piston, and its sleek profile will undoubtedly keep the 2000 in the greatest of all time conversations for the foreseeable future. Lastly, we've come to Visconti. Like LAMY, this choice was hardly a choice at all. The Homo sapiens has been and will likely continue to be the pen most associated with Visconti, specifically the Bronze Age edition. Even if you're not familiar with it, you might have heard that Visconti has a lava pen. And they do. The Homo sapiens fountain pen is made with resin mixed with basaltic lava from the Mount Etna volcano in Sicily. And this creates a material unlike anything else in the fountain pen industry. It's warm in the hand and never slippery, with a natural arrangement of pores that give each pen a signature look. Add to that the internal power filler, the gold nib, and the bronze hardware, and it's easy to see why this pen is not only their most popular model, but absolutely the pen that you'd want to consider first if you're looking to get a pen most indicative of this brand's style. Let it be written that each of these noble houses now has a champion. If you'd like to consider picking up a pen that is an excellent representation of their respective brands, perhaps my opinions have helped. You can find them all for sale over at gouletpens.com. Have fun, write on. Thank you.